What do we got inside this fairly ordinary looking black box? Oh, it's only a $3,700 laptop from Razer. Stay tuned. So this isn't just any laptop, this is the ultimate laptop. This is the brand new Razer Blade Pro. It was announced a couple of months ago in Berlin. This thing is less of a laptop, more a desktop PC stuffed into the body of a laptop, which is exactly what Razer's marketed as. Now, we've been very, very lucky to get hold of one for a few days before the holidays. Razer's very, very kindly sent us one to have a little look at, and obviously we weren't going to keep it under wraps. We're in the season of giving. We're going to crack it open and we're going to show you a much, much closer look at the Razer Blade Pro than we managed before. So this is the box. It's fairly ordinary looking. You've got the Razer logo kind of just embossed in there a little bit, kind of like a carbon fiber print, but it's basically a very plain looking packaging for something that costs what this does. Obviously, I've mentioned the base price for the Razer Blade Pro is $3,700 in the US, £3,500 in the UK. So I've had to be very, very careful with this because it's worth more than several cars I've bought. So we'll just take the top off, and there it is underneath. So this isn't the very first unboxing of this one. Razer have already had a go at it. This isn't actually a retail unit. This is the kind of the final pre-production. It's not actually shipping here in the UK yet, but for all intents and purposes, it is exactly the same laptop. So we'll prize out the Blade Pro. It is a 17.3-inch laptop, so it's fairly big, but it's not actually that heavy. It's all metal, but it's kind of weighs less than 8 pounds, which is kind of remarkable. But we'll have a look at that in a moment. I'll try and put that down somewhere where it's not going to fall off and cause me much financial discomfort. The rest of the box, it's fairly plain. We've got a power adapter here, which came with a US adapter, which was no good for me. I had to unplug my TV to be able to charge it, which was good. But what's really, really incredible is this is a 250 watt power adapter. This is less than I have on a much less capable desktop PC. I have an old Alienware PC that has a 330 watt power adapter. This is 250 watts, and inside is a GTX 1080 graphics card. So you know, it's pretty portable. You know, it's quite a slim battery pack, and it's not going to be too bad to throw in a bag. So we'll put that down to one side, and the rest of it is there's the US power lead, which I don't need. UK plugs #1, and then Razer's usual kind of paperwork. Some stickers, already got a bunch of those. Cleaning cloth, because of course it has got a touch screen, the Razer Blade Pro. It's a 17.3-inch 4K touch display. It's really, really fabulous. And there's a bunch of stuff here which I'm not going to read. So we'll get rid of all this bump. Get all the box out of the way. And then we will bring back the main attraction, which of course is the Razer Blade Pro. So just running off a few of the key specs. Inside this is an Intel Core i7-6700HQ processor, 32 gigabytes of RAM. That's a lot, especially for a laptop. It has a GTX 1080 graphics card, 8 gigabytes of video memory. This is basically packing the most powerful consumer graphics card you could get inside a laptop right now. And even then, it wasn't particularly easy for Razer to get it into something this size, but we'll go through that in a moment. There are various storage options. This isn't the highest of the storage options. It goes all the way up to 2 terabytes of SSD storage in RAID 0, which again is unbelievable. I was lucky enough to sit down with Razer's CEO, Min Liang Tan, around the launch of this product, and they basically said that they didn't want to cut any corners. Everything that could possibly go into a high-end desktop, they wanted to cram it into this. And I mean, just look at it. It's not exactly thick. to say that inside is a GTX 1080. Okay, so I've had to adjust the camera angle slightly because, of course, this is a 17-inch laptop, so it's fairly big, and I'm fairly tight on space here, but I fired it all up, logged everything in, and the first thing, obviously, you can see is that iconic Blade Pro design. The trackpad is off to the right-hand side. Gamers aren't really that keen, it seems, on having a number pad. It's an unusual design, but having used it for a little bit now, I'm kind of, it feels quite natural. It's where your hand would, well, my hand would rest anyway as a right-handed person. It's where my hand would be if I was using a mouse anyway, so it feels very, very comfortable. It does take a little bit of getting used to though, because I can't tell you the amount of times I've actually gone down to the bottom to try and use the trackpad where there is nothing but metal. So the display is, as we mentioned, 17.3 inches. It's 4K resolution. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's got 100% Adobe RGB. It's full touch, and it's got NVIDIA G-Sync as well, which for gamers is absolutely incredible. Throw in that GTX 1080 G-Sync, your games are going to look absolutely phenomenal because you will be able to run them at up to 4K resolution. I've run Forza Horizon 3 in a very quick test on this at 4K, running between 45 and 50 frames per second fairly comfortably on Ultra. So this is a serious gaming machine. Other key design points, we've got a kind of a scroll wheel here, which by default has the volume up and down and it clicks in. It's kind of like a mouse scroll wheel on the trackpad, which is great. One of the best things about this laptop though for me is the keyboard. Just see if you can hear. To look at it, this is a fairly standard laptop keyboard, but it's actually mechanical. It's actually a full mechanical keyboard. It is one of the best keyboards I have ever tried on any laptop ever made anywhere. Razer's taken all of their sort of knowledge from building their own mechanical keyboard switches over the years, and they've introduced what they're saying is the world's first low-profile mechanical switch. So it's not necessarily going to be, you know, a gamer's first input choice, especially with some of the great keyboards that are out there. And if you're spending this kind of money on a gaming laptop, you're pretty serious about your gaming. But it's a really good keyboard. It's a dream to type on. I use a kind of mechanical, or at the minute I'm using a semi-mechanical keyboard. But and I love typing on them, and these keys are really good. Power buttons basically all we've got here in the middle at the top. It's a very clean design. We've got speakers here down the very edges, and as I said, it's all metal. It's all very sleek. It's all very thin for something this size. I mean, it's not heavy, but it's still, you know, it's got a bit of weight to it. But there's so much inside. So in the corners here, these are the two main exhaust vents. Obviously, there's some down the back here as well. These are the two main exhaust vents for the fans, which cool the graphics card. And Razer's had to do some serious work to get GTX 1080 into a laptop that looks like this. You'll be able to find out more about it in our full impressions, but it's basically the thinnest vapor chamber that's ever been made. It's a Razer proprietary system. They've designed it all themselves, and it's supposed to keep the laptop very cool. I've noticed so far that it does get a little bit toasty, obviously around this area, on the other side as well. But you can also feel some serious cooling coming out of these when you put your hands on them, which is good to know. So, see, we'll be cranking that up during some benchmarks and some testing. But yeah, that's a very quick look at the Razer Blade Pro. We have sadly only got this for a couple of days right now, leading up to Christmas. We just wanted to get something out there, just show it off, because it really is probably the most incredible Windows 10 machine that we've seen all year. It's truly a remarkable thing that it even exists. We're going to be spending a lot more time with this into and over the holidays and into the new year. You'll be able to find full review, comparisons, and much more. So thank you very much for watching.